KOMO-TV for Seattle.
In the news this Sunday, a riot at the Monroe Reformatory. At least 4 inmates are hurt seriously with multiple stab wounds. Inmates are under a lockdown. Details are next.
Now, KOMO News for Sunday.
Good evening, I'm Greg Forge. Steve Poole is here with sports. Fighting started just around dinner time this evening, either in one of the cell blocks or in the dining area of the Monroe Reformatory. No guards reportedly were involved in the incident. The prison riot squad with the State Patrol and Snohomish County Sheriff's deputies have now secured the area. At least 4 inmates were stabbed in the incident. 4 others were hurt seriously. Ken Schramm is in Monroe and has this report.
The trouble apparently started around dinner time this evening. That's about 5 o'clock. How it started or why it started is not known right now. It is known that a large part of the population was at one time involved in the fight. At least 4, possibly as many 6 men have been taken to local hospitals with what is said to be multiple stab wounds. 2 of those inmates reported to be in critical condition. Earlier, we talked with Superintendent Don Look.
Best information I have right now is that the majority of the fighting ended up in C block, which is one of 4 cell blocks. But it did involve a large number of the population inside, and there was some property destruction in all the cell blocks. But the extent I can't speak to yet.
Several small fires were started inside the reformatory, probably mattresses, clothing, and some trash. Nothing major, though smoke could be seen some distance away. State troopers armed with shotguns are patrolling outside the reformatory. The prison riot squad is inside. This is the first incident of this kind at Monroe since December 1977, and authorities here say it will be some time before everything is all sorted out. They emphasize that everything is under control right now, and they're fairly certain the incident was not used by some inmates as an opportunity to escape. In Monroe, this is Ken Schramm, News 4.
News 4 has now learned that a total of 8 inmates were taken to hospitals outside of the prison walls. 4 are in Everett General Hospital, 3 of those in critical condition with multiple stab wounds. 4 other inmates were taken to Valley General Hospital in Monroe. As Ken reported, the inmate population at Monroe right now is 950. Officials say they are surprised at tonight's violence, since there have been no serious problems at the institution lately, and there was no indication that there would be rioting or violence tonight. Investigation continues into the exact cause of tonight's fighting. There's more to come on News 4 this Sunday. The strike at Simpson Timber in Shelton continues. We'll take a look at the race for Seattle City Treasurer, and Steve Poole is here with news about the Sonics.
Hi, Kurt Bagley, Section Man, Spokane.
Hi, Dorothy Sykes, Training Crew Dispatcher, Cheyenne.
Gary Howard, Communications Supervisor, Denver.
Ed Marsnack, Engine Foreman, Omaha.
Danny Manning, Machinist, Pope Tellin. Bob Kerr, Car Inspector, Ogden, Utah.
I'm Jean Woods, Down Clerk, Seattle.
Jerry Morris, Rates and Divisions, Omaha.
We're the Union Pacific, and our story's just begun.
We're the Union Pacific Railroad people. We can handle it.
And what's it like to be a Sun Giant raisin?
Mainly fresh.
I see.
And plump.
Some people say Sun Giant raisins are the freshest, plumpest raisins they've ever tasted.
Well, Sun Giant's double seal packages do seal in our ripe, juicy plumpness and seal out air so we stay fresh.
Even the snack size?
Sure.
What is it?
I just reached my peak. It's time to jump in the bag and get sealed. See you around.
There's something good under the sun. Sun Giant raisins.
When every minute can cost you an acre, you need a chainsaw you can depend on. So you grab your home light going in, and before long, you're walking out a winner. And Home Light can make you a winner right now with a very special deal on a very special Home Light. The Home Light XL at a king-size savings. Or choose one of 4 other Home Lights and get this rugged carry case free from Home Light, the Chainsaw King.
Spirits are low in the community of Shelton as the Simpson Timber Company strike enters its 2nd month now. Civic leaders are beginning to worry about the impact of that strike on local businesses. A spokesman for the Chamber of Commerce describes the effect on the community as heavy and warns that Christmas may not be too merry if the strike continues much longer, since Shelton's world-famous Christmas tree harvest could be affected. About 1,400 employees are involved in the walkout, meaning a loss of close to $100,000 a day in paychecks. The union has been on strike since the 8th of October. In Seattle on Tuesday, General Election Day, voters will decide who will fill the office of City Treasurer. Both candidates for the office campaigned outside the Kingdome today, passing out Seahawk rosters to fans. Each gave us his opinion on what the important issues are in the treasurer's race.
Well, I think it's very important that we begin to open up the process. For the last 70 years, this has more or less been a hand-me-down situation where the system has always moved up and when the incumbent treasurer retired. And I think it's just very, very important that we begin to see better public accountability, the records opened, that we begin to go to open bid banking systems, that we see precisely where the interest rates are developed and also who gets the commissions in the various, from the various financial dealings that are occurring between the city and the other private interests.
My opponent's never done an investment in his life. He doesn't know cash management, regardless of what he's saying. And he's been saying that he has great experience in this, and I do not. And it's not true. My daily job for the last 5.5 years has been running the treasurer's office. We've done it in a cost-efficient manner, and we've reduced employees by 10 full percentage points in the 5 years I've been there, and I've been doing the hiring. And we've increased our affirmative action from less than 5% to over 18% in the face of a 10% drop. And I think that's a good record.
That was George Cooley speaking. Just before him, Lloyd Hara. Both men are candidates for the office of City Treasurer in Seattle. If you're a fisherman and you didn't make it out to Lake Washington today, you will be disappointed to find out that fishing there was absolutely spectacular. At least near Seward Park it was. Anglers there were doing a land office business. On the hook, a hybrid strain of steelhead trout, around 1,000 of them all in this one area. While the catch was indeed easy, there was more to it than just luck, rather a good deal of planning.
Isn't it marvelous?
The fish were pumped through plastic tubes from the park hatchery, introduced by the University of Washington's Fisheries Department. Professor Ernie Brannon talking with Craig Barrick about the program.
Stimulus for us coming here, of course, was that the game department had to leave the facility because of budget problems. It's a city hatchery, city parks hatchery, and it's actually one of the few hatcheries owned by any city. So the university asked the city if we could take it over as a temporary use or long-term lease for training and research on trout. And for doing that, of course, we want to build a trout fishery, a trophy trout fishery in Lake Washington. Fish will grow over the years up to 5 pounds or larger.
Over the next year, a total of 25,000 trout like these will be released into Lake Washington. The U of W's plan to rebuild the trout fishery in the lake that has been reduced by overfishing. They're even fast on land. Sonics are fast on land, too.
They sure are. Got some good news about basketball, bad news about football. We'll do the basketball first. The Seattle Supersonics put an end to Milwaukee's 10-game winning streak tonight, dumping the Bucks 114 to 101. Gus Williams had 19 points in the first quarter, 27 for the game. The Sonics are now on a 4-game winning streak. Now for the bad news. It's official. The Seattle Seahawks set a record for the worst offensive performance in league history today. Or the LA Rams had the best defense in league history today, depending on how you look at it. The final in today's game, 24-0. And the Seahawks were held to a -7 yards total offense, all the while LA was running up close to 500 yards. Plays like this one, commonplace. Jim Zorn sacked 7 times. The previous record was a -5 yards set by Denver against Oakland in 1967.
It's pretty embarrassing. We're in living color here, and my face is probably bright red. It is embarrassing to play in front of a lot of people who support you. It's embarrassing to practice all week with coaches that have spent hours upon hours trying to be ready to play a game and then have it turn out like this, total disaster.
Pat Hayden broke the little finger on his right hand, so the game was not without cost for L.A. But on this play, Seattle's first-round draft pick, Manu Tuiasosopo, is hit and goes down with an injured knee. As you can see, he did go off under his own power, but the leg will be tested tomorrow, and we'll know more about it then. Also, Robert Hardy appeared to have suffered an ankle injury. More on that tomorrow as well. All in all, has to be one of the worst days in the history of the franchise. And there's the final again also today. Atlanta rebounds with a win over Tampa Bay. The Patriots beat Buffalo by 20, and Dallas comes close to losing to the Giants. The Steelers win, no problems, and the Browns up in the Eagles. San Diego wins a key Western Division contest, and the Cards stop the Vikes. The Colts are winning now with Burt Jones, and Oakland stays in the race as well. The Bears roll over the Lions, and the Jets squeak by the Pack. Finally, it's Denver 10 and New Orleans 3. Also tonight, this soccer note. The Seattle Sounders are said to be close to naming their new head coach. An announcement is expected as early as tomorrow, perhaps. Finally tonight, the Breakers went down to defeat at the hands of the Portland Winterhawks, 5-4. Portland got 4 goals from its frontline players, Florette Robideau, David Babbage, and Ron Chorney, all with 1. Then Jim Dobson added 2. Seattle got off to a slow start but managed to tie it at the 15-10 mark. But then with 19 to go in the game, Dobson picked up his second and the winning goal. So the Breakers are now 5-9-1 and holding down 3rd place in the Western Division.
Soup's still on the road, right?
Soups are on the road. That's going to be, it's a tough loss for the Seahawks, and it's going to take a lot of oomph to get out of that. It's a tough loss.
They'll make it.
Yeah.
The weather is next. Please stay tuned.
The curtain's going up, come see what's new. Detroit and all the world have come to show their cars to you.
The International Auto Show is back at the Kingdom, November 7th through the 11th. See how every foreign and domestic model met the 1980 challenge. And don't miss the very special Northwest appearance of the $70,000 Clemé. It's all happening at the Kingdom.
At the International Auto Show.
How many pairs of shoes do you own?
8, 9. But I live in Cobby Cuddlers. Comfortable. I must own at least a dozen pairs of shoes. But I live in Cobby Cuddlers. Very comfortable.
Tiny pockets of air cushion every step for unbelievable comfort.
Nobody has more shoes than I, but I live in Cobby Cuddlers. Ultra comfortable.
Cobby Cuddlers, shoes you can live in.
New fall Cobby Cuddlers, available at Nordstrom.
On the thing, and then she tried to, I'm on the phone. Mm-hmm. I'm terribly sorry. That's not my department.
I'm on my lunch hour.
See him.
At People's Bank, we really try not to pass the buck or send you to that person over there or give you the runaround.
Hi. Come on over here. Can I help?
If you think a bank ought to do more than smile, move to People's Bank and watch the buck stop.
We got some more of that cold drizzle tonight as another wave of wet weather moved across Puget Sound. But high pressure is now building to the north, so over the next couple of days we should dry out just a little bit. As that high pressure builds, most storm systems will be diverted to the south of us. We'll have some pretty heavy morning and evening fog, but look for some sun breaks in the afternoon. As high pressure builds, the nights will get a little bit colder. Right now, it's 48 degrees at SeaTac, 50 downtown. Relative humidity, 80%, and the barometer is rising now from 2993. Winds from the southeast at 8. For Seattle, Tacoma, Everett, and vicinity, decreasing showers through Monday. Pretty foggy tomorrow morning, then we'll have afternoon clearing. A little warmer with a high tomorrow about 55 to 60. Low tonight, though, about 35. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour tomorrow. Chance of rain, 30% the rest of this evening, 20% Monday morning. That's it for this weekend. The ABC Weekend Report is next here on Channel 4. I'm Greg Forge with Steve Poole. Make next week a better one. Good night.